Welcome to Marriage Bliss. This is your home for marriage enrichment.
Sure. At Marriage Bliss, here we unveil the true picture of how God intended marriages to be. Are you finding joy in your marriage?
Or are you at the verge of quitting?
We, the Muigais, are partnering with God to restore bliss in marriages. Tune in to your favorite Just Connect TV on Facebook and YouTube. We shall enrich our marriages together. Karibu. Welcome to Marriage Bliss. Welcome, viewers. This is your home for marriage enrichment. Indeed, we are here to celebrate what God has given unto us as we empower each other in regard to our marriages. I'm yours, Muigai, and we have Irene Muigai. And so we are the Muigais. We are the Muigais, and we are glad to have you here with us.
Right.
And we shall be glad to walk the journey with you. Maybe before we proceed so much, maybe we can do a brief introduction of ourselves.
Exactly.
We've been married for the last how many years?
10 years.
10 years. 10 years. 10 years. Yeah, we celebrated our 10th anniversary on 16th of July this year,
Right.
the year 2021. And so we are so glad. It has been a journey. It has been a journey, and God has been faithful to us. But I want to tell you, viewers, it has not been smooth all the way. There has been those ups and downs, and that is why we are here to discuss about how to overcome those challenges, because they come. I can tell you, indeed, they come. What else do you need to say about us?
And you know what? When you hear about the ups and the downs, it is so real. It has been so real. I remember, like, for us when we were getting married, we thought that it wanna be smooth because my husband is be working in the bank. I have just gotten myself a job with the government, and immediately after the wedding, 1 month later, the guy didn't have his job.
Yeah.
And we had to now figure it out. What should we do? We just thought it's gonna be a smooth flow.
Yeah.
and then the violence just sets in. So what do? Do you quit?
Yeah.
Or do you embrace each other?
Sure.
So we had to hold each other and run the race together. And you know what? It's so sweet when you decide to win together.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter the amount of, the challenges that comes your way.
Yeah.
What matters is the attitude.
Yeah, sure.
What attitude do you have when you're entering into marriage? Am I coming to win? Am I coming to lose? The attitude that you set yourself into your marriage will carry you through when challenges come.
Sure. So when we say that it has not been smooth all the way, I remember like during our first year, of course it was tough. Here is the guy does not have job, and my wife is working with the government, and the challenges were there. And at some point, I remember I told this girl to pack and go and leave my house. And she took it literally and started packing and leaving.
Because he was so stressed. You see, he just lost a job. He was used to getting money every month, a good life, being a banker. And you realize when you're stressed and there's a lot of hiccups and shakings in the family, if you're not careful, every small thing would amount to a bad conflict. And can you imagine what had caused the conflict? A story for another day.
Yeah, sure. So we are here to tell us that it is possible, it is indeed very true that we all encounter challenges. Don't be lied to. Every marriage encounters challenges along the way, but we are here to tell us that we can overcome them. And what is most important is the attitude that you have. Are you there and fully, have you given yourself fully into that marriage?
Right.
Because there are those people who are in marriage, but halfway they feel like at some point it's like I might exit this marriage. And so they don't give their all into the marriage.
Right.
And so they are there, the attitude is not right, the way they look at their spouses, you find the attitude is wrong.
Yes.
And when you score wrong when it comes to attitude, then you lose it.
Sure.
You lose it.
Sure.
Attitude is very key.
It is
in
very
marriage.
key.
Yeah.
Very key. And you know what? Like in our hashtag, we say marriage is work that works. The problem and the challenge we are having this time round, especially with the young generation, you find that we want our marriages to work, we want our marriages to flourish, but we are not ready to do the work bit. And the work bit we have to commit, because work is commitment.
Yeah.
Work should be deliberate. You cannot be forced to work.
Sure. That's
like
very
just
true.
going to cultivate in a shamba. If you're given a jebe, you just hold it. You have to deliberate, start working out with it so that you see results.
Yeah.
Same with marriage. And when you talk about this work, it's not like it's something we cannot achieve. It's the simple things, the simple rules of the game, but a deliberate mind to do them.
So it's like most people, maybe we can conclude and say, most people, and we find ourselves into that, we are not ready to work.
Yes.
Yet we want or we expect our marriage to work.
Which can't work.
Which can't work. There is a part of work that you needed to do. Like we are talking about marriage bliss. We need to find bliss in your marriage.
Right.
But you have to cultivate and work for it. Let me, for instance, ask, when is the last time you created time just to say, I want to spend time, quality time with my spouse?
Yes.
When is the last time that you said, there's a man and I want to charge the men? When is the last time you said, I want to take my wife out, just the two of us, and have and enjoy? Can you imagine? God gives you 365 days in a year.
Yes.
But when is the last time that you said, I want to dedicate these 2 or 3 days just to celebrate the gift? Because we say, this is the most precious gift that God has given me.
You're right.
When is the last time that you set aside that time? When is the last time that you said, I want to treat my spouse? I want to give the best. Because what God gives you, God does not give you a complete, finalized product.
Exactly.
God gives you some raw materials. It is up to you to bring out what you want in your spouse.
And that is the challenge. Because the attitude or the expectations, actually we say that expectations fail us. It's not your spouse who fails you. It is the expectations.
Maybe you can repeat that point again.
It is the expectations that fail you, not your spouse. Because I come into marriage with a lot of expectations. I expect this guy to be 1, 2, 3. I expect this lady to be 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
But remember what we have talked about work. Am I working to see my spouse being what I want him to be? Am I working towards my lady being what I want her to be? Because the Lord will not give me a full package, but I have to partner with God to make my package full, right?
Maybe also it is important to remind us, when two people come together to make a marriage, and you become a couple, you realize that you come from two totally different backgrounds.
Exactly.
Two totally different backgrounds, different upbringing. You know, this person is brought up in this area, you know, and you realize from our different background, we come up as with two people with two different personalities,
Right.
characters.
Right.
You know, there is a way I believe it is the right thing to do things, but you find the other person, it is totally different. And so that one brings a lot of conflict when you come together. And so maybe probably also even getting to understand the background, you know, about the background of your spouse. Getting to know how was them in their family, how are they brought up. You know, some of us are brought up in polygamous families.
Right.
Others are brought up in the church. Others are not. And you happen to meet, like for us, we met. We have not shared our story. Yeah, we met in campus.
Yes.
Two totally different people. We met as grown up and we met in campus. Two totally different people. And so it is upon us to dig and get to understand. Seek to understand the other person. Get to understand, why is this person behaving the way he or she is behaving.
Yes.
You know, don't curse and say huyu hata hasikiangi, huyu ni kichwa ngumu, hata sioni kama tutakaa na huyu mtu. You know, it is up to you, because I believe when God brings two people together and at some point you find yourself enjoying in marriage, there is nothing. It is when the marriage happens to fail, it is totally 100% up to you.
Exactly.
Because God has purposed you to and ordained you to succeed.
Yes.
That is what I believe.
And you know what? Marriage is so beautiful. It is only in our mindset. And because of what we have heard, the stories that we have heard people talk about, giving us negative energy, we need to trust God to help us to only take the positive energy about marriage. Because out there people are killing each other. We have seen news, especially of late, people are killing each other. Marriages are breaking down, up and down, and you know, right and left. Every day we have a lot of breakups. But when you think about it, you see it's because of people who are not ready to work, people who are not patient with each other, people who have very high expectations about their spouses. If we learned to be patient, if only we learned to be, you know, to accommodate one another, give room for mistakes, and love without expecting to be given back. You know, when God gave you this gift of your spouse, because it's a gift, how would you treat a gift that you're given by your friend, by your parents? You'd value it. You would treat it with a lot of honor. Then how comes the gift that God gives us, we take it for granted? Why should I take my spouse for granted? Yet it is a gift from God.
Yeah, sure.
If I understand that, you know what, this is a gift from God, I need to take care of it, I need to value it, I need to respect it. So I'll be doing things that are in line with God.
Yeah.
But the moment you don't value what God has given to you unto you, then you'll not have time to value it. And that's why we have a lot of conflicts and breakups, because of people who are not patient with each other.
Yeah.
And you know what? Patience is a fruit of the Holy Spirit. We need to practice it even more in our marriages. Because like you've shared, we have come from different backgrounds. I know things differently from you. I need to be patient with you.
Yeah.
I need to learn and help you learn more, or relearn, or unlearn. Because we have different habits that make our character when we grow up from our different backgrounds. So we need to be patient with our spouses. And patience carries the day.
Sure.
Because if your spouse does something wrong, you'll be patient with them. You trust God to give you time to communicate. Communicate about everything. And in marriage, we say, communicate about everything, including nothing. Never assume, because you are not two angels from heaven. You are two adults from different backgrounds, different upbringings, and so you really need to communicate.
Wow, that's why I love about everything about marriage bliss, because here we shall be talking and learning more about how we do communication in marriage. Because one thing that we say when you are listening and communicating with your spouse, you listen, not to respond, but to understand. You know, we shall be talking about communication in marriage and how to excel in communication in marriage. We shall be talking on how to deal and to handle third parties in our marriage, because marriage is made up of two people, you and your spouse. And so we shall be talking, how do we deal with the third parties? And third parties includes your parents, your siblings, your workmates. You know, we shall be talking, including your children. They are also third parties in your marriage, because we have seen people who are separated because of differences arising from their children. So we shall be talking about how to deal with the third parties. We shall be talking also about finances, how to deal with finances in marriage. More than the other. Now, it is the more we have found, and we have handled cases whereby we find people are separating and disagreeing and fighting because of finances. Imagine, because of something that God has given you, because even the retro that you have, it is God who has given you.
And to challenge the ladies on that, if you are earning more than your husband, though this is a topic we shall handle in details, it has not by any chance made you the head. The head of the family is always the man, whether he's earning little or zero. The fact that I'm earning more than my husband does not make me the head. So the aspect of respect and submission carries the day.
And I want to appreciate, because at some point, actually for a period of 9 good months, my wife here was earning and I was not earning anything. Like literally nothing. But by the grace of God, a miracle happened and I also started earning. And so, can you imagine if my wife was mistreating me during those months when she was earning more than I was? And I'm happy because God took us through that period of time, because it was actually during our first year of marriage. You know, and you are able to get to know the person that you're married to. And so we shall be talking about finances in marriage, and I believe it shall be awesome. We shall also be talking about love languages. You know, wow, I love whenever I talk about the love languages, you know, I get to feel, you know, getting to know how to love your spouse. Get to know what she likes. Get to know, is she or he a gift person? Is the person a person gifted to in the area of quality time? Because quality time is key in every marriage. We shall be talking about words of affirmation. We shall be talking about what else?
There is acts of service.
Acts of service,
physical touch. And all these are the works we have talked about. Marriage is work that works.
Indeed.
The work here in marriage is very simple. Things like just touching your spouse, feeling good about them, celebrating them, reminding them that they are beautiful, telling them they are handsome, they are wonderful, you know, just affirming someone. And when you are affirming, you're touching them. You are enjoying this gift that the Lord gave you. And it is so sweet. And we also have, we are going to be learning about conflicts and conflict resolution, because in marriage, one thing that we should learn and understand is that conflict is part of marriage. A marriage without conflict is faked. Why? Because we have two adults coming from different backgrounds, like we've said, and there is no way you're going to reason the same. I view my glass as half full, he'll view his as half empty. So are we going to fight about, is it half full or half empty? We have to come to a point and say, you know what, this is glass, it has water, let's drink and move on. You don't need to have fight because of the full and the empty aspect. So conflict, how do we solve conflict? Because for sure conflicts will be there.
Can you imagine there are marriages that have been broken just because of argument about this glass?
Yes.
Like, this water is it half empty or half full? And people have broken their marriages. And you can imagine the reason why we are talking about enriching our marriages and standing together to ensure that our marriages get to work is because when marriages get to work, the families get to stand.
Exactly.
Can you imagine losing an opportunity to bring up your children together just because of a conflict, just because of a difference that arises? And you dismantle your marriage, and the children are divided, and that one leads to a spoiled society.
Yeah, and it is very sad because when couples are fighting and they are not figuring about the child or the children in the picture, that is why we have seen a broken church, a failed society, because once I break my marriage, I'll affect my children.
Sure.
Those children have been affected, and it's generational. Because once I don't bring up my daughters and my sons in a complete family, there are things they lack. There are things they will not know how to handle. So when they go start their marriages, they will carry on the same mistakes.
Sure.
So it moves from one generation to another, and you find that a whole society, a whole nation is not working out.
Yeah, it is so
really
sad. It is very sad.
Yes.
And that is why we are here in Marriage Bliss, so that we can get to enrich each other. I also look forward to us discussing this wonderful topic about sex and intimacy.
Right.
I love that area, because during that time I'll be listening to my wife speak, because she's the one who shall be telling us more about it. I think that time I'll be a student. As you give me in a scale of 1 to 10, maybe you can say how this guy performs.
Yes.
And get to.
And it's awesome, because this is a gift that we've been given by God. And when you're in the marriage context, it is sweet and it pleases God. And once we handle it as a gift from God, just like I've said, when you think of a valuable thing that you've been given as a present, you will treat it with all the honor it deserves.
Sure.
You not just throw it about. Now, when it comes to the issues of sex and intimacy, many families are breaking down because, again, we are having people coming with expectations.
Yeah.
And most of them, you realize they have had some influence from the media, the social media. And may the Lord help us so that we don't come with a lot of expectations in this area. We are watching pornography. We have people who've been paid, and they are not, they are acting. They are not doing it as a holy act, as our Lord deserves us to do it in the context of marriage. And so you realize this is an area where people are really getting messed up. But I want to encourage our viewers and tell them, even as we learn more about it, as we discuss more about it, you realize how simple it is, how much you can enjoy, how much you can enjoy with your husband, with your wife, because you learn together and you enjoy together.
Sure.
It is not it's not rocket science. It is so simple. It just starts from your mind. You get set and you go. And
wow.
you enjoy.
Every time I think about it,
Yes.
wow, we are talking about sex and intimacy. I love to imagine that God also watches. Sometimes we forget that God watches us from heaven.
Yes.
And it is an ordained act, ordained gift that God has given to married people. And so and I look forward at the end of a good time, the Lord saying, wow, wonderful son, I'm happy for you.
Well done.
Well done,
Yes.
my wonderful son. And so we shall be learning more. And so I invite us to continue watching Marriage Bliss. We look forward. We shall be coming to you every Friday from 8:30 to 9:30 through Just Connect TV. This is your home where we stream live. So God bless you so much. We love you. We love you, and we look forward. We shall be coming up also with other couples. We get to engage each other and get to learn more.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and God bless you.
May the Lord bless you. May the Lord do you good. May the Lord help you to acknowledge marriage as a gift from God. Enjoy your marriage. Marriage is to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
It is sweet. You only have to change your mindset and get going.
Yeah,
God bless
wonderful.
you.
Thank you. God bless you. See you next time.
Ever felt the need to learn how to play a musical instrument or improve your music skill and never knew where to go? Just Connect School of Music is the place to be. We offer professional training in music sight reading, piano, drums, guitar, saxophone, bass guitar, and vocal training. We are located at Eprin Square, 3rd floor, room 26, opposite Buruburu Police Station. Just Connect, building worship.
Yesu kasema mimi ni mzabibu wa kweli, naye baba yangu ndiye mkulima. Tawi lote lizaalo litapaliliwa, lile ambalo halizai litakatwa. Mimi ni mzabibu wa kweli, naye baba yangu ni mkulima. Mimi ni mzabibu wa kweli, naye baba yangu ni mkulima. Kila tawi lisilozaa uliondoa, na kila tawi lizalo ulisafisha. Kila tawi lisilozaa uliondoa, na kila tawi lizalo ulisafisha. Lizae yangu mimi, nami nikae ndani yenu. Kaeni ndani yangu mimi, nami nikae ndani yenu. Na lolote muliombalo mutapokea, kwani bila mimi hamuliwezi kufanya. Na lolote muliombalo mutapokea, kwani bila mimi hamuliwezi kufanya lolote.
Kaeni ndani yangu mimi, nami nikae ndani yenu. Kaeni ndani yangu mimi, nami nikae ndani yenu. Na lolote mliombalo mutapokea, na lolote mliombalo mtapokea, kwani bila mimi hamuliwezi kufanya lolote.
Aha! Mwaka wa kuzaa matunda huu, lazima tuzae matunda tupendeze Mungu. Twende!
Zaeni, zaeni matunda mupendeze Bwana. Zaeni matunda mupendeze Bwana. Zaeni, zaeni mupendeze Bwana. Zaeni matunda mupendeze Bwana. Wachungaji muzae matunda, kondoo wasitawanyike. Zaeni matunda mupendeze Bwana. Zaeni
Just Connect TV is your entertainment and educational channel. We broadcast authentic content that will inspire, empower, and stir up the potential and positive energy in you. Just Connect TV, streaming life.